Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Let me tell you about something that should absolutely terrify every single Phillies fan, but for some reason nobody's talking about it. The bullpen. Again. Still. Always. It's been 3 years of watching this same nightmare play out over and over, and we're sitting here in December 2025 pretending like maybe this time it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it won't be. This bullpen has single-handedly destroyed multiple championship opportunities, and until we fundamentally change our approach to building a relief corps, we're going to keep losing in October while everyone acts shocked like we couldn't see it coming from a mile away. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and say what everyone's thinking. The Phillies bullpen lost us the playoffs. Not bad luck, not tough breaks, not the other team being better. Our bullpen was a dumpster fire in the biggest moments of the season, and it cost us everything. How many leads did we blow? How many close games turned into blowouts because we brought in the wrong guy? How many times did we watch some journeyman reliever who had no business pitching in October completely fall apart on the biggest stage? I've lost count, and that's the problem. This isn't an anomaly. It's a pattern. It's organizational malpractice that keeps repeating because nobody wants to actually fix it. You want to know what's really infuriating? We saw this coming. Everyone saw this coming. Going into last season, every analyst, every writer, every person with half a brain said the bullpen was a problem, and what did we do? We made minor moves. We signed a couple bargain bin veterans. We promoted some guys from AAA. We convinced ourselves that maybe Jose Alvarado could stay healthy and dominant for a whole season. Maybe Seranthony Dominguez would rediscover his form. Maybe we could patch it together with duct tape and prayers, and it didn't work again. Just like it didn't work the year before, just like it's not going to work next year unless we completely change our philosophy. Here's the fundamental issue that the front office refuses to acknowledge. You cannot win championships in modern baseball without an elite bullpen. You just can't. Look at every World Series winner from the last decade. They all had shutdown bullpens. Multiple guys who could come in high leverage situations and get outs. Relievers who didn't fall apart the moment the pressure ratcheted up. We don't have that. We've never had that during this competitive window. And we're never going to have it as long as we keep bargain hunting and hoping veteran reclamation projects somehow turn into reliable October arms. The money allocation in this organization is completely backwards. We'll spend $300 million on Bryce Harper without blinking. We'll give Trea Turner 11 years. We'll hand out extensions to every position player who asks for one. But when it comes to the bullpen, suddenly we're penny pinching. Suddenly we're looking for value. Suddenly we can't afford to pay market rate for proven relievers. Why? Because relievers don't sell tickets. They don't generate jersey sales. They don't get casual fans excited. So ownership doesn't prioritize them. And we end up with a bullpen full of guys who would be middle relievers on good teams trying to pitch in championship deciding games. Let me break down exactly what happened in the playoffs because apparently nobody learned anything from it. Game after game, we had leads. Game after game, the bullpen came in and immediately put runners on base. Game after game, we watched guys who looked fine in May and June completely implode under playoff pressure. And here's the kicker. These weren't unknowns. These were guys with track records. We knew who they were. We knew their limitations. But we kept running them out there anyway because we literally had nobody better. That's not a strategy. That's organizational failure. Jose Alvarado is a perfect example of everything wrong with our bullpen construction. When he's on, he's unhittable. Triple digits on the fastball, devastating slider, strikeouts for days, but he's never consistently on. He'll have stretches where he can't find the zone. He'll have games where the command completely abandons him and he walks 3 straight batters. In the regular season, you can survive that. In October, it's catastrophic, and yet we keep trotting him out in crucial spots because he's the best we've got, which tells you everything about the depth of this bullpen. Seranthony Dominguez is another guy who exemplifies our problems. He was supposed to be a shutdown closer years ago. Then injuries derailed him. Then he came back and was inconsistent. Now he's what? Our setup man? Our closer by committee option? Nobody knows, including probably Thompson. We're constantly trying to figure out roles on the fly because we don't have clearly defined, reliable options. Good teams have established bullpen hierarchies. They know exactly who pitches when. We're out here playing mix and match every night hoping something works. The lack of a true closer is absolutely killing us. We don't have that one guy who comes in the ninth inning and you feel confident the game's over. We've got a committee approach, which sounds great in theory, but fails miserably in practice. Why? Because closers aren't just about stuff, they're about mentality. They're guys who want the ball in the biggest moments and don't flinch. We don't have that. We have a collection of guys who are fine in low-pressure situations, but shrink when it matters. That's not going to win you anything. The development and acquisition strategy for relievers is fundamentally broken. We're not drafting and developing elite relievers. We're not signing the top free agent relievers. We're not trading for proven commodities. We're bargain hunting and hoping we get lucky with reclamation projects. Sometimes it works for a month or two, and then reality sets in and we're back to having a bullpen that can't hold leads. This isn't sustainable. This isn't how you build a championship team. This is how you waste your window with a talented roster that can't finish games. Let's talk about the analytics approach, because that's part of the problem too. We're so focused on matchups and platoon advantages that we overthink everything. Thompson will bring in 3 different relievers in one inning to get specific matchups, and inevitably one of them gets shelled. Meanwhile, other teams have guys who just come in and attack hitters regardless of handedness. They trust their stuff. They don't need perfect matchups. But we're so scared of making the wrong move that we make 5 moves when one good pitcher could have gotten 3 outs. That's paralysis by analysis, and it's costing us games. The workload management is another disaster. We either overuse guys until their arms fall off, or we don't use them enough and they lose their rhythm. There's no consistency. Guys don't know when they're pitching. They can't get into a routine. And then we wonder why they're inconsistent. It's because we're managing them inconsistently. Look at how the Dodgers use their bullpen. Look at how the Braves deploy their relievers. There's structure. There's a plan. We're just winging it every night and hoping it works out. The injury history of our bullpen is staggering. Guys are constantly on the IL. Arms are breaking down. We can't keep anyone healthy for a full season. Why? Is it bad luck? Is it poor conditioning? Is it overuse? Probably all 3, but regardless of the cause, the effect is the same. We're constantly scrambling to fill bullpen spots with replacement-level arms who have no business pitching in meaningful games. And then those guys get shelled and everyone acts surprised. Here's what really makes me want to put my fist through a wall. The solution is obvious. Spend money on proven relievers. Go sign the best closers and set up men available. Build a bullpen the way the Dodgers and Yankees do, with multiple guys who have track records of success in high-leverage situations. But we won't do it because ownership doesn't value relievers enough to allocate the resources. They'd rather spend that money on another aging position player who'll be declining in 3 years. So we're stuck in this cycle of mediocrity, watching our starting pitchers give us quality starts that get wasted because the bullpen can't hold a lead. The frustrating part is that our starting rotation is good. Wheeler and Nola are legitimate frontline starters. We get quality starts regularly, but it doesn't matter if the bullpen immediately gives up the lead. It doesn't matter if we can't hold opponents to 3 or 4 runs. We need 7 or 8 runs to feel safe, and that's not sustainable in October against elite pitching. Championship teams can win 2-1 games. We can't because we don't trust our bullpen to preserve a 1-run lead for 3 innings. Think about every playoff series we've lost recently. Now think about how many of those games came down to bullpen failures. It's almost all of them. We didn't lose because our offense couldn't score. We didn't lose because our starters got rocked. We lost because we couldn't get outs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. We lost because the bullpen that everyone knew was a problem turned out to be exactly the problem everyone said it would be. And here we are again, heading into another season with the same fundamental flaw, and everyone's just hoping it somehow fixes itself. The truth is, until ownership decides that bullpens matter, until they're willing to spend real money on elite relievers instead of bargain hunting, we're never winning a championship. You cannot compete with the best teams in baseball while having the 30th ranked bullpen. It doesn't work. The math doesn't add up. And all the expensive position players in the world can't overcome the fact that we blow leads constantly because we refuse to properly invest in the most important aspect of modern baseball. The bullpen has killed this championship window, and it's going to keep killing us until someone in the organization decides to actually do something about it instead of crossing their